got any Tool fans in the crowd? Yeah, me too. Yes, actually, Black Lagoon. Have we talked about Black Lagoon yet? We were talking about that a little bit. No, we haven't. I'm shocked. Sorry, coming right from a lengthy autograph session and whatnot. I've been talking. I'm thinking that I'm just repeating stories because we were having a lot of these conversations earlier. So Black Lagoon, for anybody that hasn't seen it, is an awesome series. Totally cool, right? Foul language, if you like filthy language, delivered by a Lara Croft-looking character who just kicks butt. Check out Black Lagoon. Even my character, Rock, drops an F-bomb. Which was incredible because my characters cry. Even when they're crazy and evil, they still cry, right? So they don't swear. Ooh, heavens no. But everybody else on this darn show was swearing up a storm. And this girl, Mareka, who plays Revy, who's like the main bad chick, she's got a potty mouth on her. Oh! You kiss your mother with that mouth? So I was jealous, because everybody else, they're just cursing up a storm, right? And I'm very polite and mild-mannered. And then they're basically modern-day pirates, and I kind of the polite Japanese young businessman gets kind of thrust in this lifestyle and starts to kind of adapt to it. So, I got to drop a couple F-bombs in studio, and I made them record me like a dozen times. Just because, this is probably the one time in my career this is actually going to happen, so I'm going to take full advantage. You're going to have 20 different takes of me saying the F-bomb. Good times. That wasn't the question at all, was it? What was the actual question? Oh, learning a language. Okay, so Black Lagoon. I had to speak Japanese, because there was one scene, I think it was in the second season, where my character is translating during this, meeting of the minds, like a big mob boss think tank type thing going on. So there's all these different languages flying around. So in the Japanese version, the Japanese actor that played Rock is speaking English, so therefore I speak Japanese. バラライコで結構です。練習修理お話は伺っています。我々は長らく東京に本拠を築きたいと思っておりました。ご協力感謝します。私たちは文句ばっかり来ました。Yeah. So I had to speak some Japanese. Let me make this clear. I do not speak Japanese. Yeah. But it's fun. I love, like I said, I love the language. And in some, video games and things, I've had little lines here and there and whatnot. But so I worked really hard. That's the only line that I can remember. And it was better when I learned it because I was saying it properly. Now I've kind of muddled it together, but whatever. But I spent, thank you, that's very sweet. But I spent a lot of time and energy trying to get everything right because I have a lot of respect for the culture, the language, all that kind of stuff, right? And then, turns out, in the final mix, once everything was said and done, you could barely even hear me because there's people talking over top of me, There's all this stuff going on, I'm like, oh, I think that's me speaking Japanese in the background for 30 lines. Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, it doesn't pay anymore. Aww. No. Didn't you already establish in the previous panel that anime doesn't pay? Hence my real job. Don't get me wrong, this is the dream gig. If I could make a living being a voice artist, I would actually absolutely love it. But that's almost the problem, is I love it so much that I will, as long as I'm still getting work, even here and there, I will make sure that everything else in my life conforms to a lifestyle that will allow me to have the opportunity to continue to work on these types of projects just because I love them so much. Okay, that kind of answered the question, right? Sure. Next question. My most embarrassing moment in the booth. What happens in the booth stays in the booth. Yeah, I think I blocked those all out of my mind. I don't want to tell this story. This is more of a sad thing than an embarrassing thing, but I guess it's also embarrassing too, because I got pride. Hell, I got you on my side, so I'll tell you this story. I hate this story, it's sad. And it's going to start off so positive. Anybody seen a show called Johnny Test? Right? I was Johnny Test. I was, for the blink of an eye. It was very strange. I auditioned for the show, I got called back. I had a few auditions for the show, right? I didn't get cast. and they cast a very talented actress to play Johnny. And then, so they started recording the series like that, and then I guess they kind of changed their mind, decided that they wanted a different feel for him. So they recast. So I went through more audition processes, right? And the lady that played it originally had more roles on that show, so it was fine. I mean, it sucked, right? Like, it's terrible. It sucks, but she's still working on the show. So then I came in, and so I kind of recorded with this cast, and the part that sucks so much is I loved it. Loved it. Great cast, great show, so much fun. So I recorded a few episodes and then kind of stuck around afterwards to kind of re-record the stuff that they had already done, which wasn't too much. And then I think I came back in for another session, did another episode, and then I was just kind of waiting to go back in, and then it was like a week went by, and then 2 weeks were going by, and thinking, oh, it's weird that the show's on hiatus already. It's strange. So I called my agent, I'm like, hey, what's happened with the Johnny test? Oh yeah, they got some guy in LA doing Johnny. Oh, are you serious? Thanks for telling me. Like, it's heartbreaking. That's one thing. I mean, one thing that we talk about in these panels a lot is how to get into voice acting and all that kind of stuff, right? Because it's a cool gig. And one of the things that I say is if you don't have a thick skin, you're gonna hate it. Like a lot of jobs that revolve around acting, I mean, it's a cutthroat business. It's a money-making machine, right? There are, this is the feel-good part of it, but in the end, it's a lot of, people in suits that are making important decisions. There's a lot of money involved in those decisions, which they don't have time to hold people's hands and, all that kind of stuff. So it's a very cutthroat, it's an industry of rejection is what I call it all the time. You have to have a thick skin to develop one, right? I mean, it still pisses you off, makes you sad and all that kind of stuff, but not enough to, believe me, I've wanted to quit a lot of times. Because you get frustrated, when you go for a gig and it's like, oh, this is perfect for me, and then you don't get it, then you don't get the next one, then you don't get the next one, all that kind of stuff. And you're like, why am I even wasting my time? Oh yeah, because I love it. So it's worth going through hell just to get a little nugget of a part that is going to give you that fire back, right? So that's one of the reasons I do it. One thing that's great about coming to a convention like this is you guys helps. Well, I guess it's your fault. You help, keep that fire ignited when it feels like it's kind of flickering away. So I thank you for that, and I curse you for that at the same time. Yeah, I love to hate you guys and hate to love you. Wow, that was almost quotable. I'm sure somebody else has already said it. Damn it, there's no original thoughts anymore. Every time I think of something that I feel is completely original, then I'll hop online and somebody's already thought of it. Damn it, Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it. Okay, another question. You've been very patient. Yep.
What did you think of Han Solo's final episode of Black Lagoon?
OMG, whiz. Okay, this is a little part in the Black Lagoon saga, and I'm not going to give anything away because you guys should watch the series. I've been hearing rumblings too this weekend that the third season is kind of hopefully like getting underway in Japan or something, which would be fantastic because it's been a while since the second season finished, and I wasn't sure if they were actually going to bring it back or not. So now here's hoping that actually happens, and then hope that it gets picked up for North America, and then hoping that they bring it back up to Vancouver so I can reprise my role as Rock. That's a lot of ifs, isn't it? That's a lot of hoping. I can only cross so many fingers, but we'll see. So there's a little part of that storyline that involves a couple of kids, a boy and a girl, and in this environment of modern day pirates, oh man, it's rough even for that show. Suggestive and gnarly and terrifying and come and play with us, Danny, like moments like that. And that was a Shining reference, by the way. Forever and ever and ever. That's probably the scariest movie I've ever seen, by the way, is The Shining. And it's because of those damn twin girls that pop up in the hallway. They used to freak me out, and they still do, to this day. I've often thought that, sometime I'm gonna have to get over this, and maybe I should do like a painting of them. Or take a picture, put it on a shirt or something. And then I've always thought better, because then I'll have to look at them. and they'll scare me all over again. I'll have more problems than I already do right now. Even thinking about it's giving me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah, totally. I have no one to blame but myself. And I grew up watching horrible slasher movies, right? Sleepaway Camp and, Creep Show, which is more funny than horrible, and Slaughter High and stuff. And I was a kid. I don't know how I got away with it. At one point there was do you guys, maybe you've heard of something called a video store? They were real at one point, believe me. Are they shut down, the video stores and DVD stores and stuff? Are they still around? They're starting to shut down in my town. They're just vanishing off the face of the earth. Yeah, it's a transition. It's like when, and some of you won't remember this, when they made the transition from like video tapes to DVDs. Well, there'd be like that one store that had like 5 DVD rentals. Like, oh wow. And then the rest were all tapes. And then there was one store that would have like, maybe 10 videos, and like, I can't believe they're doing this, man. How are they making any money? And then, what happened to the videos? I do have a couple of videos, and they're Ronda videos, because I couldn't, I gotta keep those, Now I just need a VCR. You can't really watch them like this, unfortunately. So this is a dumb story, but so I was really young. Me and my sister were a year apart, so we're really tight. And we were loving the Nightmare on Elm Street and all that kind of stuff. So every time we go to the video store and we were supposed to be renting like Goonies or some Benji movie or I don't know what, right? We'd be in the horror section trying to find like Scanners or, like some weird, obscure, terrible movie. So we had a note that we bring with us that gave us permission to rent these movies, because my parents didn't come with us, it was just a walk over to the video store, but they'd always have to call home, like all the time, call the parents and say, this is an R-rated movie, these kids are young, these kids are like 10 years old, is this a good idea? Oh, they're fine. So growing up on all that, and then I watched The Shining, and it freaked me out! And it was those damn girls, I'm like, no, that's Daddy? Oh, let's move on, please. I'm losing it, yeah. You saved me, my soul. Goodbye, friend Troa. I'm thinking about Sad Rock again. Yeah. Sorry, let's move on to happy things. Yes. Oh yes. Very, very different. So I really want to work on more relay series because there's money involved. Like a show like X-Men pays a lot better than Gundam. I'm not sure why it is. It's just, and this is just in Canada. Like I don't know how it works here in the States, but in Canada there's an animation agreement. And because I guess a lot of the original money has already gone into the production for these Japanese shows. There's just less to go around by the time it gets to us. We're essentially dubbing it into English, right? So we don't generally, it's not very often that we're part of the kind of production process. When I was working on a show called Transformers Energon, that was, all right. That was a bit different because they were kind of doing the Japanese and the English practically simultaneously. In the first couple episodes, a lot of the scenes that I was watching were basically animatics, like incomplete animations, which was kind of cool. It felt like we were getting into the beginning. But then you work on a show like Ranma or Maison Ikoku or something like that, or Kimba the White Lion. That was Kimba and the New Adventures of Kimba the White Lion. Oh, for any of you who haven't seen Kimba, I'll give you a quick little overview of Kimba. Here it is. Panga's Forest. That's it. That's for the most part. I mean, obviously there's more that happens, but a lot of my time was running and then beaming about Panga's Forest as young Kimba. They just don't pay near the same. And one thing that we get, and I think this is probably very different in the States than it is in Canada for a show like X-Men or My Little Pony, if you will. I got Representing the Pony Squad? Yeah. Yeah, I played Ace in My Little Pony. That was my first cartoon gig a long time ago. And I was a badass pony. In My Little Pony terms. Yeah, badass is not very badass. Yeah, I wasn't even badass, I was just mean for like 2 episodes. That made me the bad pony. We'll get paid like a session rate, and then some of these shows will have what they call a buyout, and that's so that they never have to pay us again, like residuals or anything like that, right? So depending on the intended release market of the show, sometimes the buyout will actually be more than what they paid for actually going in to record, so it can pay pretty good. And then there's anime, which is totally opposite. But, you know, I love them both equally in very different ways. Yeah, sure.
Okay. 2 questions actually. One, can you do one of your favorite lines as Light from Death Note?
Haven't I already done that?
I was in here.
Well, that's your own damn fault. Sorry, what is your name? Oh, this would work better if I was holding a Death Note, not an imaginary one. There you go, yeah. You guys all have copies. I hate to burst your bubble, because I've signed most of them, and I'm still here. Yeah, foiled again. Sorry, carry on.
My second one
Yeah.
was there ever a time when you were playing live and you just like hated yourself because you were being such a jerk?
I didn't like how he treated Misa. I felt horrible. Horrible. I mean, she kind of deserved it. I know. But yeah, I felt bad, you know, like, yeah, there was lots of times in that show where I just wanted to go up and smack his little bum, and not in a good way, like in an authoritative way, like with my belt or something, you know. Good swift backhand across the chops, you know. Smart enough, be nice. But, you know, that's what happens. That's why, you know, I've learned, a question that I get from time to time is, what would you do if you had the actual, if you saw the actual Death Note? And after going through the entire process of Death Note, I know exactly what I'd do. Keep on walking. And la 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 la. It's a slippery slope, my friends. As much as you might think you want that power, I think we all see what happens. Brian Drummond, who played Ryuk, I was at a panel with him. I can't do his laugh, won't even try. He was awesome. I was at a panel with him, and he had a good answer to a similar type question. He would like the, what was it, the wedgie note? That's what he would want to have. He wouldn't want the death note, he'd want like a wedgie note. So it's like, you know, somebody pisses you off, it's like, and they're just walking. You know, like, I got you, sucker. That would be great. That's the type of power that I would love to have and overuse. And you know, it's also a bit of comedy as well. So you know, that'd be a lot of fun. Can you show me something? This is a family show. I guess it depends what you want to show. What do we have here? Oh, awesome. Are you guys curious? Isn't it killing you? Okay, no, I'll explain to you. It's a Gundam Wing playing card. It's the Queen of Clubs. Of Catra. Yeah, Catra don't get no ace, no king, or no, not even a joker. Oh, the joker's probably Trolla, right? No, he's the queen. But yeah, it's him with the violin and sad rock in the background. That's beautiful. No. Okay, we'll go to the back, yeah. Yeah.
Would you be doing a second season of Dokoida if it existed?
Oh, hell yeah! Has anybody seen Dokoida or heard of a series called Dokoida? Yeah, okay. Put your hands up. Okay, that was one. The first time I thought it was just you two. There's a sprinkling of about maybe 6 other people that have heard of it. Yeah, no, I'd love to. Yeah, I get to play a guy that turns into kind of a superhero. He looks like a big blue robot wearing diapers. Yeah, so it's basically, you know, me playing a kid and then getting to do my superhero voice. Yeah, and it's great. It's a short little series. You know, it was 1 season, so that's one thing. It was easy to collect, and each volume came with some cool little extra thing. Like you get like iron-on patches where you can make the T-shirt that he wears in the show, and there was all sorts of other cool little things. Oh, they saved that for the Canadians. Yeah, it's just those were just north of the border. Yeah, they're bribing us for some reason. Yeah, you can. Since you recorded it up here, we'll give you an iron-on patch. patch. No. Yeah, they probably charge twice as much for it though. Okay, now that'll be $50 for volume 1. But there's only 2 episodes. And I'm on patch. Gotta have that patch. Gotta have that patch. Yeah. What can I say? I don't remember anything from that show as far as lines go. Do you have a line that I would say as Dakota?
I was kind of hoping you would remember one.
Okay. I'll do something different that might kind of remind you of Dakota, but since only 5 of you have even heard of the show, there's no point in doing an impression. But we'll see. There might be a little something in this for you. I am the great Sam! Same thing. I use my same man voice to do Dakota for the most part as a superhero. Okay, let's just move on. Let's get away from the extremely obscure back to insanity.